Thank you so much for watching us today. I am going to teach you how to paint watercolor with acrylic paints. Because a lot of us in our homes or studios, we have tube paints, and we always want to paint something in a watercolor, but we don't know how, right? So I am painting with just 140-pound watercolor paper, just regular paper you can get at the store. It's nothing special or anything like that. And you can cut these little ridges off afterwards, after you finish painting. So we're going to paint today this beautiful little flower and this blue heart next to it. And what I did is I used a Sharpie, a fine point Sharpie. You can use any color Sharpie you have. On this original painting, I think I did red, but you can use green or purple. It doesn't matter. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace out my heart, and I will just do it in a very loose way, right? So this is my heart, and then I'm going to have a stem here for my flower. Now, see how you don't have to know how to draw? All you're doing is putting lines and shapes on your paper. Now I'm going to do a leaf, and the leaf comes up, little circle here, and some little lines in it, right? Now, this here for the flower is just an oval. So you can do an oval as big, and I just kind of squiggle it in there and make a center for the flower. I'm going to put him a little belly in here, right? And I'm going to do a little triangle. Now this little flower needs petals. So again, a little oval, another little oval, an oval, an oval. They don't have to all be the same size. Nature has all different colors and shapes. So I was painting earlier, and I had some paint left over, and I looked at it and I said, what am I going to do with this leftover paint? So I saw this piece of paper laying around in my studio, and I said, okay, let's do something pretty and loose and nice and pretty. So I take a paper towel, and I always keep it on my hand to dry my brush and blot it. And I have a little half-inch brush, which in some places it's a number 12, but you get the idea, right? Just a little flat brush. Don't get, hooked with colors, shapes or sizes. Get some water in my brush, and I'm gonna water down this blue. See that? It's gonna be a nice little puddle of blue. You can have a paper plate, palette paper, anything you like to put your paint on, as long as it's, not paper. It could be like one of those plastic paper plates. So I will rinse my brush out, and I will start picking up my blue. And the same way I traced, right, my little lines is the same way I'm going to paint. So I traced this way, right? So I am going to trace my paint the same way. And I already have my shape and my color on my heart, right? Right here. Now I will take a little bit more of that and put it back here. And I'm not going to put any color in here because, ooh, a little drop of paint in there. Okay. Because I want this area to be white. Because I want this flower and this heart to stand out. So what color do you think we should do the flower? Let's see. For those of you who are watching, do you want me to keep it the red and do the yellow? Okay, the opposite? Okay, so I am going to do the center of this in red. And again, I'm going to make a little puddle of my red. So my center is going to be totally red. And all I'm doing is moving my brush left and right, just like you write. If you were going to write a letter to somebody, you write left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. So I will put a bit of yellow in my center there to just cover that white up. And when you mix these two colors together, it almost gives it like a little orangey shade, so you're kind of shading with it at the same time. Now the petals, we're going to do yellow because somebody in the background said, do it yellow, do it yellow. So I will do it yellow. Same thing. So if you notice, the petals are not solid yellow. They're just a little bit of color in there. I will come with my brush close to the center, and I'm just gonna squiggle or use that brush in a up and down manner, right? And that's gonna be my petals. And you want the white to show out because that gives an open look to this. When you see a white color piece of paper, don't feel like this urge that you have to cover everything up. You don't need to. Just leave some area so that people can look around and see what's going on. So now if we did it just purple, purple, I have purple in my mind. If you just do it yellow, it's gonna look flat. So let's add some of that red. So I'm gonna water down this red, because if you look at a flower, it has yellow, but it also has reds in it. It's just that we don't see it because we see the dominant color, which is the yellow. So I'm just gonna brush, look, my brush is dry, and I'm just gonna brush some of that yellow red. Thank you for catching that. Some of that red onto my flower. Now that looks great already, right? We need a leaf. This is the easiest project you'll ever do, trust me. So how do we make the green? We take a little bit of blue and we take a little bit of yellow and we mix them together and we make some green. Let me rinse my brush completely. This is what you really need to be aware of. Rinse your brush completely, tap it on your paper towel, then pick up a little bit of that green and see how my area here is only covered on the right side of the leaf. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put the green just on the right side of my leaf, and the stem is also green. So I'm going to hold my brush straight up and come all the way to the top here and put the green in. I'm not even gonna rinse my brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of this brown that was left over from the project I was doing before, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that on the bottom and a little bit more of that green so that it looks like that little bulb that holds them up. What do you think we need next? Some more red? Okay. We'll do some more red. So the red we're gonna do is just tap it on your paper towel. That's too much paint. So again, and if you notice, my paper towel is very wet, so it won't let my brush get dry. I will take some of that red that we had left over, and I'm gonna tap the little edges here. Pick up a little bit more. And a little bit more. And look, I had just enough to finish that one. Very good. If I would have planned it that way, and it wouldn't have worked out, right? But sometimes you get lucky. Picking a little bit of that blue up to make a little purpley color in here. See this? So that this looks a little bit darker. And now you have an awesome project. And you must be wondering, where did these little dots come from? Well, I had some leftover blue, so I'm gonna water this down a lot. And I'm going to take a whole bunch of it in my brush, and I'm gonna try it on my paper plate. Don't put it on here yet. And I'm just gonna tap it a little bit to see. I need some more, don't have enough. Okay, good. And you take, and you're gonna tap it here really hard. So you get these little marks here. So tap, 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 and voila, you're done. Doesn't it look beautiful? Share your pictures with me. Let me know how yours came out. And if you have any questions, remember Chris Cruz here to help you with all of these projects. One other thing, if you have a little blob that's too big and you don't like it, just take a little point of your paper towel and touch the little inside of it, and that little blob goes away. See, an extra little hint that you weren't expecting to get. Enjoy your painting. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't paint. We are all artists in our own ways. Enjoy your painting and stay in touch. I'll talk to you soon.